Okay, we put a coat or two of cool neutral, and now we're gonna put another coat of cool neutral, and we're gonna work wet on wet. So this has to be fast. If you want to, you can wash me first, and then you can do it. The motion that we're gonna have on our brush is horizontal. Okay. Let's first put a coat of cool neutral. You have the other colors in here too. Let me just put all the colors. Cool neutral, fawn, sapphire.
See, you're starting all right, man.
And blue mist.
That's it. That's what I got over here that Nilda, is it going to be this way? Or this way?
No, that way.
This way.
Vertical. Okay, so we're applying cool neutral, and while that is wet, we're gonna put the blue mist on the top section of the canvas, not on the bottom. If you see the bottom, what you have is sand, and sand is mostly this color with foam. So I'm putting first my wet on wet color of cool neutral, and now I'm gonna go to my blue mist and apply the blue mist to the top section. And I'm going side to side, and I put
How far down do you take that?
it's like half of it, maybe less than half, a little bit less than half. Okay, and I'm going sideways. And you see the water, when you see the water, it has like it's not completely horizontal. It's like, you see, it's like tilted. So I'm going to tilt it a little bit in there. You see that? You see it better now?
Yep.
We may need, I'm gonna pause it and, okay, so I'm blending that with my, no, I will have to hold it. I'm blending that with my cool neutral, because it was supposed to be wet on wet, and I stopped, so it's not wet anymore. So work wet on wet. And that's good enough for that color, okay? You don't need to put that much. If you wanna look at it closer, you can come over. Now we're gonna start putting the bottom section, which is gonna be the darkness on the sand, and that's gonna be our fawn color. But again, we need to have our cool neutral, and I'm cleaning this because I don't want to put that blue on my sand. So now I'm going to put the brush in the water, and I'm going to dry it on my paper towel before I go to the color, because I don't want water on my color. And then I'm going to go to my cool neutral again, and now I'm going to go to the bottom section and put my fawn on the sand.
Did you put any sapphire in the...
No, we have not yet.
Okay.
So I am wetting this bottom section.
The whole bottom?
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. And now I'm gonna put the foam. See, some areas can be darker than others, so it doesn't have to be uniform. So I'm putting some color on my bottom section, and I'm gonna put more color next to the water. Why? Because the water, makes a cast shadow underneath. In the sand, there's always a cast shadow. So it is always darker below the water. The sand is darker. So we're gonna put other colors later to shade it more. And I wanted this scene lighter on the bottom section, so if you want to, you can put more of the cool neutral on the bottom section.
Just blend it to nothing.
Yeah. But see, it's irregular. I like to have different colors. Okay, then I'm gonna go to my sapphire, and you have to be careful. Sapphire is a very strong color, so a small amount, and maybe put some of your cool neutral since it's getting dry. And you're gonna put sapphire on the top section because it is darker on the top. See,
Are we cleaning our brush before we go?
no, I didn't. And if it's too dry, then take some of your cool neutral to help it move. So you're gonna have cool neutral sapphire, and you can also put some of your blue mist because you already put blue mist in there, right? Make sure that your brush is sliding horizontally. So the marks that you're putting, they go horizontal. Bless you. Okay, and we're gonna let this dry. Still gonna put a lot of things in here, so don't worry too much. This is only like an undercoat.
They have to be super smooth.
No,
No sky, right, it's all water.
yeah. It is all water because you're looking it from the bottom, because you see the closest thing in here is the birds. So just see a tiny section of the water. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry completely.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
With a scruffy brush, we're gonna put the cool neutral, the blue mist, and sapphire. We're gonna stroke it.
Oh, wow.
and it's dry. Like if I want to put blue mist on the bottom section, and we are going to shade also this.
So your handle always faces toward the water.
I do it that way, it's easier for me, probably gonna be easier for you too. Probably was not as dry as I wanted because I used this brush, but try to use a very dry brush.
When you look at your board, it doesn't look like a lot of color change, but it looks white up here.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
The light reflecting
Uh-huh.
kind of.
Yeah, it
Uh-huh.
is reflecting.
So this is what you're gonna start putting now.
This is cool neutral.
Cool neutral,
And the lighter blue.
the blue mist, and we're gonna put also some sapphire on the top section. We're gonna put it all the way to the top, okay?
So we're actually gonna go almost all the way across, but not in a straight
Not
line.
not that white section yet.
Okay. So you're doing primarily this piece down here.
Well, I'm gonna go up.
this
Yeah,
piece.
we're talking about this section here. You see, it has strokes like that
Yeah.
in there. Okay. So, go sit down and try.
Okay, so that you know. She used sapphire dry. No, she didn't use sapphire.
I have not used sapphire yet. I will, but I'm putting the other colors.
I'm saying, looking at cool neutral and saying sapphire. I don't know why. Sketchy hand. Let your hand shake, literally. I'm trying to.
It is like the tiniest skinny water that is coming out. And then when you put it on the top, you start building your foam.
No, it doesn't.
Sand and white.
Are we cleaning our brush?
Nope. Paper towel. Paper towel. Yeah, I don't want your brush wet. I'm not cleaning mine, it's all dirty. Okay, we are gonna start forming our big waves. And you're gonna use the sand first. And I'm trying to put it in a way that you can see. Because he put it low for yesterday, but we probably need it higher so that you can see the whole canvas. But I'm gonna put it here.
You're off the picture.
I am off the picture.
Yep.
Go to your right.
There. I have the sand on my brush. And you see how this brush, since it has the hairs all apart,
Scroungy.
yeah, that's why I wanted you to have a brush like that.
Ready looking. That's why I never throw brushes out.
That's just straight sand, huh?
Sand,
And that goes on our big weight.
yes, on the, whatever has foam, you're gonna put first this and then the white with a scruffy brush. So I can make another one. You see the position of my brush? And it's a nervous, I'm not putting it, I'm like making.
Oops, they have shaky hands.
You know, don't put too much. Gonna put a white highlight.
On the top.
Yeah. Okay, we can make stronger places, and I have more paint. And you see what I did? This is the cream first, and then I'm gonna put the white. Then we're gonna put the blue. We're gonna tint all this with blue and plantation pine. We are going to start tinting it. Raw umber first. Under the foam. Leave all the colors that you have in your palette because we're now gonna tint all this. Raw umber. And we're gonna place this raw umber underneath the waves. I'm gonna work like this so I can see where am I. Okay, I have raw umber and I'm gonna start tinting underneath with raw umber. Underneath that foam that you placed. I'm sorry. And this is where I put my raw umber. And I'm using the same motion side by side that I did before. And it doesn't matter if it go a little bit on top of that color that you put already. See, I covered some of that blue, but it's okay. It's okay if this has some of the raw umber underneath.
Using that same scruffy brush.
The same brush. I use this brush almost for all the painting. You see, you're going to, it has a wood there and it's making a mark, the wood in there. Come over for a second and you can see it closely before you do it. Sorry, but it's better if you see it closer. And this is that wood in there is making that ridge. Okay, so it's okay if you put it on top of that because that way it looks like it's going, it's water that is going under the shadow. So you're gonna put all the shadow underneath all your waves because we're gonna start building color, make this dark underneath, okay? So if you create a wave in there, you can start building the shadow. And we're gonna put also the plantation pine and make green instead of brown. But for now, you're gonna put this color and
Dirty up the beach.
okay.
Do you do
that.
the top part of the beach and?
This is where you have to
that
put.
one area.
Do not put anything on the top.
Okay.
Underneath your waves, and underneath on your sun area.
Okay.
That's where you're gonna put the brown.
Okay.
In here, you see, you might want to blend it there when it goes to the sand.
Were you using sand or were you using
I put the foam,
cool neutral?
the foam and the cool neutral.
Foam and cool neutral.
That's why you have to blend where it meets the sand. And that's okay. If you have I have a very dark spot there that doesn't want to blend, you can take some of the water and put in there. If it doesn't, you can put a shell. Did you notice that there was a shell in here? What I did was, I took the blue mist after I put the the raw umber, and I put some blue mist.
Into the sand?
Yes, on top of that, on top of that brown, I put some water. Put too much, only a tiny amount, and it's very skinny. Skim. Make sure your sides are darker. on your sides. Both sides are darker. Okay?
Outside edges?
This sides, they're always darker.
So lighten it a little in the middle if it's dark.
Yeah, make it darker. Okay, now we're gonna use the fan brush, and before we put our birds, we have to
Better.
spatter. But before you do that, check your water, and you may need to put more highlight on your water with white. Or spatter, some spattering. See? You see what I did? Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. That's with a brush that has the hairs, very bad hair.
What brush are you using for that?
It's a 3/4 brush, and it's a very, very, very old Robert Seaman. Okay, if you think you have enough of the do you see that? Do you see this?
Yes, yes.
Make it splash. And if the brush is not helping, you can take a fan brush and do the same thing for that for those splashes. We're gonna put the things on the ocean and on the waves and all that after we spatter. That's why I was asking who's a good spatter. So where do you want us to go spattering? You wanna do it here? You wanna go outside?
Probably should go outside.
Okay, so grab your palette, and you will need to have raw umber, sand, and blue mist on your palette. And what I do, that's why I put palette knife. What I do is I take my palette knife and I scrape my fan brush with the palette knife.
This is the fan brush.
Instead of using your fingers. Okay, I forgot the palette knife, but I'm just gonna use this. So it's anything that you have to scrape. And you need your fan brush, your board, and your palette. Cover your water and then spatter.
It's got water, I left water in it, so, yeah.
Spatter the raw umber, the blue mist, and the sand using a fan brush, scraping it with your palette knife. You need plantation pine, sapphire, and raw umber, and we're gonna we're gonna put shading on the water. This is a neat tool to have from the paint stores to open your juice. See how it is? Okay, so plantation pine, raw umber, and sapphire. First, we're gonna start working on whatever you have to have. You probably have one ready that has like a big opening
Yeah, your wave.
for your wave. Okay, we're gonna first shade, and in this case, you can use a floating brush if you want to. Gonna use my flat brush, any size, but I like using big brushes, so I have a 3/4, but whatever is better for you for floating. And we're gonna float color underneath. And you know how to float? You take paint and you work it on one side and you work it on the other side. And this is plantation pine, and I'm gonna put plantation pine underneath. It's too bright. You see how bright it is? So, and I don't want it that bright. That's why I'm gonna put also sapphire, and I'm gonna put the sapphire, and I'm gonna put the raw umber. Maybe you can have some of the blue mist too. Yeah, I put some of my blue mist too. Sapphire, blue mist. Let's make that dirty there, but not that bright. See how I always go this motion? It's like sideways motion. Sideways, like that. Okay. I'm going to grab some of that raw umber. Because the sides have to be darker. So still have there plantation pine, sapphire, and raw umber. It's very dirty. We're making the underneath of the waves is always very, very dark. And after that, we can put bluer colors. But underneath the wave is always dark, dark. This artist that I was telling you about, she makes like a black color and she put it underneath the waves. She called it the Mother Earth color. But we don't want it that black, so that's why I'm asking you to put the blue mist and the sapphire to make it more bluish.
And it pretty much goes all the way across, right?
Yeah, well, across the bottom of your wave.
No, I didn't mean to say it that loud.
You heard, we all know.
What did she say? I didn't hear it.
I said, this will be in the trash Monday.
Oh my gosh. That's not good. Who said that, Joan?
Me?
No! We're gonna allow it. You have like a round brush. The waves have like an eye in here, and the eye is always lighter. Okay, you have the darkness underneath, but in here it is lighter. So let's make a light color with the blue mist and the sapphire and a tiny bit of plantation pine. And you're gonna start making that eye.
Put a little yellow in it.
No, you wanna put yellow? Well, if it's too dark, you can put some white too.
I'm sorry, you said luminous sapphire?
Blue mist, sapphire, and plantation pine. And we're gonna build it. We're gonna first put this color. And it has to be darker underneath. Okay, it is lighter on the top, and I said sapphire, blue mist, and plantation pine, and then you're gonna take plantation pine and white and make it lighter. And it looks like I did put some yellow, but it was not the. It was the canary yellow, probably. I mean, the camion yellow. So camion yellow plus plantation pine. That looks like the color I put in there. Yes, camion yellow plus plantation pine. And make it lighter. So it is darker, it is like lighter, then it turns darker and darker. You know, we have a darker color here. We have black. So if you want to make it darker, you can use some of the black too. If you're not getting too dark.
Plantation pine look pretty good, actually.
Looks like I did do some black. Okay, so put some black in there too. So make it lighter in the center. Have you seen that eye that I'm talking about? Now this is the motion. I'm going to show you the motion that the water has. It goes around like that. Around. So if you do that with your brush, You want to see it again? See, it goes like that. It is lighter. It is lighter in here, and then it gets darker and darker and darker. But you see, if you do this motion, that's the motion of the wave. Okay? So after you put the darkness there, when you have this light, you do the motion like that, and you're making the motion of the wave.
You use green and yellow.
Yes, I use the last highlight was with the green and the yellow.
Wow. We're gonna look at waves different after that.
We have to finish the water before we go to lunch, because after lunch we're gonna be doing the birds. So I'm gonna finish these sections in here, and then I'm gonna walk around, okay? But we're gonna have a fast lunch, and then I can help. So I put some of that plantation pine also in the other section, because I happen to have 2 in here. I have my scruffy brush, and I'm putting some of that sapphire. You want to watch me, and I do this fast, and then I can walk around and help. I put sapphire. I'm darkening the top section with the sapphire. And plantation pine. Plantation pine is too bright. I think this is not a good plantation pine. It's not supposed to be this bright. Bad batch. This is blue mist.
Plantation pine in out there upper section too.
Yeah, I put a little bit, but this plantation pine that they send us
Mixed with a little blue maybe.
is too bright. No, usually plantation pine is more dark. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it is more
This-
black, you're right.
It is too bright. I don't remember plantation being that bright. So you need to also put some of the, I'll tell you what it is. Burnt sienna plus sand. Dry brush, burnt sienna, and sand, and make a light orangey color. And it is going to be with your scruffy brush. Bless you. And you're going to put some on this section here, and it's going to be a dry brush on that section. So let me mix just a second something, and I will let you know if you can put it to make that plantation pine the right color. It seems that it needs some of the black. You don't do it. Let me check first. That's too much brown. Okay, let's take the sapphire with a tiny amount of black. Tiny. And make a darker color. Maybe you need some water so you don't do it too strong. And because I want that top section darker, okay, now you can take some of the sapphire and tint some areas with only sapphire. Okay, after you put all that with the dirty brush and cool neutral, it is wet, but you can put some tiny highlights like waves in the distance. Cool neutral.
Use the neutral.
Cool neutral with your scruffy brush, and the same way I show you with the motion to the side and with the scruffy brush. And I'm going to be walking around because I know this is stressful. To do ocean is not easy.
She makes it look so beautiful.
Yeah, she
Oh my gosh.
I can feel the stress in the room. No,
And it's not a pretty sight.
no, I can feel it. Okay, if you want to, some of those waves that you created, you can darker some of them underneath. And I put sapphire.
And then there's Fran, working away and it's working.
And you will take it home. And the tall fairy is going to work on it. And it's going to look prettier. And if you lost your white when you were doing the dark, you can put it back with your scruffy brush. You can take a chunk amount of white and do like this. So some places you can put more. You see how I did? I took a chunk of white You see, I am moving the same brush with the same amount of white because I put all the chunkness in there, in here. And then I move it down when I don't have that much left. So most of it is in here, but then after I put all that chunkness in there, I can move down and put a tiny bit down. I'm gonna check if I'm missing anything and then I will walk around, okay? Okay, this section in here, we put one color and now we have to highlight and shade. It's called the Sargasso. We put Bersian and sand, and we're gonna put sand plus raw umber plus cool neutral.
Where is this, what is that? What is
The Sargasso is like all the weeds and things
Okay.
in the water, and it's in this section here. I put burnt sienna plus sand, and now I'm gonna take sand plus raw umber plus cool neutral. Sand plus raw umber. That's gonna make like a dirty color. And put a tiny amount in there. This section on the side has to be darker. Always, always, it is darker on the side. That was too dark. I'm gonna take my sapphire and a tiny amount of black and maybe some plantation pine. So plantation pine, sapphire, and make that in there darker. I'm gonna then put sapphire again to make it more bluish. You know what we're gonna do? Put a clean palette. That plantation pine is so bright, but we can put a wash instead of you know what I mean? Instead of putting it straight there, because we need to put some of that plantation pine. We're missing it.
On top.
Okay, yes. So instead of putting it straight from the bottle, we're gonna wash it. So apply it with a tiny amount of water. See if that helps better.
The Sargasso.
Yeah, no, in
Little
the
area up on the left side.
it needs some plantation pine because the water, I have some green also on the water. So instead of putting it straight, yeah. It's the same for the sapphire. You need some areas of sapphire. So make sure you see sapphire, green, all those colors in the water. You don't want only one color. You want sapphire, you want blue mist, you want plantation pine. In the sargasso, you're gonna have the burnt sienna. Let's shade it now with burnt sienna and raw umber.
No, I mean in our thing.
So it was burnt sienna and raw umber. It was the medium color was burnt sienna plus sand, and the highlight colors was sand, raw umber, and cool neutral. And everything is on the letter J. And I'm going fast because I want to walk around before lunch.
What about the letter J?
The mix is under the letter J.
No,
The letter J.
it sounds like Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. It's just looking like this stuff floating in the water. Starting to look a little different.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at you. Yeah, I got a little stream going this way. You have to go anywhere you want. They're weights. Weights can do all kinds of crazy stuff. The water can even
And they are.
Which one is done? Yes, yes, it can.
I'm just gonna do another splash, and I'm gonna walk around. See how I do it?
Yep.
One more time.
That was when you wanted to paste and put it on. To make the white stay. Actually pretty good now.
You should be able to see all the colors. You have black and sapphire, you have plantation pine, you have blue mist. All those colors, you should be able to see them in your water. Some areas are darker. And I'm going to show you one more thing that I did on the other one. Okay. You want to play more while I'm walking around. Because on this section in here, then it has like, it looks like worms going down. So you can do that with your cool neutral. Cool neutral. And then make it, oh, that's too much water. Don't have too much water on your brush. And I'm using a round brush. And then you can have those squiggly lines going in your water in there, and that's gonna make it look more real. You see that? Cool neutral. Cool neutral, squiggly is like a nervous line. I'm not recording. Oh, yes, I am. So, cool neutral was too much. These have to be darker in there. So if you have a section like that that is too light, just take your brown and your, I'm out of brown. Before I walk around, you're gonna be checking all this that I'm telling you. I'm gonna check that you underneath your wave. See, this is too light in there. It has to be dark. So I'm taking my brown, I'm gonna take some plantation pine and the brown and maybe the blue and make like a dark color. And this has to be darker in here. Oops, darker in there, underneath the wave. And then after I put that darkness in there, I can put those squiggly lines. I'm putting plantation pine on top of that brown. Plantation pine on top of that brown.
Are the squiggly lines one of the letters?
No,
Okay. And what color is the squiggly line?
cool neutral. Let me see, I told you if I put it because I don't think I did it on the other one. Yeah, because I did it on the other piece, not on this one. Okay, so take the cool neutral and then you can start doing those squiggly lines. Am I on camera? No. Okay, let me see. There. Can you see it? Okay, there. So those squiggly lines come to, it's like an oil skin on the water.
Just where it hits the beach.
Yes, when it hits the sand. When it hits the sand but it always starts from the top of the wave. But now you're gonna be looking at the ocean. See, I live in Fort Lauderdale, so we have ocean this. So, but make sure first, before you put your squiggly line, make sure that you have that darkness underneath. And then your squiggly line will look very nice. And they're very, very thin amount of paint. It's not a lot of paint. You can take one of those, one that you have in there, if you have a place where you can put like this, like make a tiny wave.
White or tan?
No, I'm in the ocean.
What color, I think?
This is white. White. Like, tiny, how you call that? When you have tiny,
White caps?
yeah, like white caps that you have in there. And you can also do that, you know what, with what color will do great? With your cool neutral, blue mist and tiny amount of white. And then oops, that was too strong. Tiny amount of cool neutral, and if it's too strong, you can always tint it. Okay, and I'm gonna walk around. And let me see. And if I tell you you're fine to go, you're gonna dry it and trace your seagulls, and after lunch we're gonna be painting the seagulls. Okay, so we're tracing our birds with black graphite paper. Transferring to your canvas. Let's start with the tiny one and you'll see how fast it goes. So let's take our liner, because it's a tiny bird, or a small round brush. And we are gonna start with the black.
Straight black?
Yes, straight black, and let me go closer. And I gonna put black on this tip. Oops, that's too much water. Some brushes, they hold so much water.
Straight black.
Okay, straight black. And this is not a good brush because it holds too much water. It has to be black, not diluted. So make sure you don't have too much water on your brush. So black in the tip. And then as I go down, I'm gonna mix what was the name of that color? Charcoal gray, the charcoal gray, and a tiny bit of white. And I'm gonna blend that with this black in here. So black on the tip, then you're gonna take the charcoal gray and white. Can you see, or you want it closer? Do you want it closer?
I think I was,
Yeah?
yeah.
See if I can go closer. Okay, so it's black here on the tip, and then as I go down, I start with my charcoal gray and white. And I'm gonna fill in the remainder with the charcoal gray and white. Up to the other wing. When you get to the other wing, you need to take a tiny bit of black because you want to separate those two wings. It's cutting too much wetness there. Can you see it now? This is black
Yes.
on top of my charcoal. Then I wanna make it, like a highlight. I'm gonna take my dirty brush and I'm gonna dip it in white, my dirty brush that have black, dip it in white, and I'm gonna highlight the top section. This is all wet and wet. I'm gonna highlight that top section, and I'm gonna also put a tint of sapphire on top of that light gray that I put. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of sapphire. And I'm gonna clean my brush, blot it because I don't want any water. And I'm gonna go to my burnt sienna, and I'm gonna also put some of the redness underneath and in the top section. Okay, that's one wing. You can take the black and maybe make some black lines going down. We're gonna take again our black on the tip. Then again with our dirty brush we're gonna go into our charcoal and white and fill in the rest of the wing. So we're filling in the rest of the wing with the charcoal plus white. Okay, you think that was too difficult to do this? No, I think it was the water. Okay, so we're filling in with the charcoal plus white. Then we're gonna highlight again, dirty brush. And I'm gonna pick a tiny bit of my raw umber so I make it warmer. White plus raw umber. What happened? Where I lost, okay. And I'm gonna put it on this side. Maybe a tiny bit of our burnt sienna to make it warmer. Burnt sienna, raw umber, and white. Burnt sienna, raw umber, and white. I'm gonna clean my brush on the paper towel so I can go lighter. The same color but more white, lighter. Raw sienna, burnt umber, raw umber and white. And in the top of that, I'm gonna lighten that. And I'm gonna wipe my brush on the paper towel and pick some of the red, which was burnt sienna, and put that red underneath. And it also has black, the same as the other one, on the lower section. Now you wipe your brush, and we're gonna go into the white. After you clean your brush, and we're gonna start building the body here. With the white. Go all the way to that line that you have in there. With the white. And then pick up your raw umber with a dirty brush that has white. And tickle the tip of that white. Then you're gonna pick your charcoal gray. Making like lines, but filling in. And at the bottom part, you put black. But you see I'm making like tiny lines, but they're together. And the legs are black. Okay, I'm missing a section here. I'm missing a tiny section of white because mine was not tracing too well. I left a line in here. Okay. So I have to go back with my raw umber and fill that in. And then I have to put the other leg in black. Then we have to put,
The legs are black?
yeah. It seems that I did put some of the red too. Okay, we are going to tint him, but before we tint it, we're gonna put a tiny amount of the, on top of that white, a tiny amount of the gray and white actually. And then on top of that, we're gonna put the blue, the sapphire. And if you lost your white like I did, you can put it back. I did put some yellow also on top of the white, so let's put the white and then we're gonna put some yellow. White. I cannot see the blue. White, blue. White and blue. White, blue. The lower section, the back is shaded with a tiny amount of black in here in the back. If you put too much, you can always lighten it with the white. Like that is better. I'm working wet on wet, so you're supposed to have white in there, wet there. And then I'm gonna pick some of the yellow with white. I'm gonna make a color of the sunshine color, and I'm gonna put it on top of this whiting here. Picking some sunshine on the back. Everybody's so quiet. Is everybody okay?
The more you touch, the worse it gets.
Hmm? What?
Don't touch so much, you know?
Huh?
Don't touch it so much.
Okay, still I want to put another highlight on my, so I'm going to pick up my raw umber and the mixture of yellow plus white that I did, and I'm going to put a tiny highlight in here. And on the other side, I'm gonna take baby blue and put a tiny highlight there with baby blue. And you see how I didn't put it on a straight line? I put it like on like a nervous line. The same thing for the yellow plus white. Don't put it on a straight line. And that's all you have to do for that tiny one.
It's a lot of work for a little bird.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna move on, okay? To the medium size. Exactly the same thing, but it's a bigger one. There he is, and he got traced wrong. I was not seeing. So I'm gonna take my raw umber and find my lines in here, and then I show you. We're gonna start with the black again. I'm gonna put the black with a tiny bit of the raw umber. So black and raw umber.
On the wing?
And the wing, on the end of the wing. Same thing we did on the other one. Maybe more raw umber than black. So I'm finding it for you here. Okay, then in here, in this one, he has like lines going down. So we're gonna take that raw umber and we're gonna start making lines going down. I'm gonna put raw sienna on top of that.
So we're using which color?
Raw umber first. Raw umber. Maybe a tiny amount of black with that raw umber. Going down. And then you put some raw sienna. A tint of raw sienna. Then with your dirty brush, pick white. You're supposed to have raw sienna and raw umber on your brush. And with the dirty brush, you're gonna continue and fill in the lower section. Going in the same direction, and you can hardly see it.
What did you pick up in the dirty brush?
The raw sienna and the raw umber
Okay.
plus white. And you do like lines going up. And finish, take more raw sienna and more raw umber, bare sienna and raw umber, and finish filling up the top. Then you're gonna take your black plus charcoal and you're supposed to have lines in here if you trace them, and you're gonna follow those lines, black plus charcoal. They start in here and they go like this all the way up to that other section that we just painted.
Black and charcoal.
Yeah, it's like a darker gray. And it goes all the way down to the body. Clean your brush and pick up some white and the white goes underneath, same lines. Lines going up. Okay, and take your white and go inside that mixture that you did with the raw sienna, raw umber, and then you can lighten here that area that you put in there. So it's a lighter version of lines. Raw sienna, burnt umber, and white. And with that same mixture, you can go in between these things that you put in there. on the spaces that you left in between. Okay, the rest of the body we're gonna fill in with a charcoal plus white. You probably can use a bigger brush, like a flat brush.
What you filled in between the charcoal and burnt umber was,
I put first the gray lines, charcoal plus white, and I mean plus black, and then in between, if I have spaces in between, I put the burnt sienna plus white plus raw umber.
That's on the darker line.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna fill in the rest of these with the charcoal plus white mix that we were doing before. And I'm gonna fill in the rest of this area. Maybe some raw umber
oh,
too.
you need some help. That's down this hallway and to the right and all the way to the end and to the right. Sorry, Darlene, I didn't. Oh, that's okay.
So raw umber, charcoal, and white, and you're gonna make like a warm gray, and you're gonna fill in whatever you have left on that wing. We're only doing a wing at a time. When you get to your lines, go in between. Do not remove your lines. Okay, I put that mixture in there, and I'm gonna wipe my brush on the paper towel, not in the water. Then I'm gonna pick up my raw umber, and I'm gonna shade the top with raw umber. Then I'm gonna pick up my blue, wipe my brush, paper towel, pick up the blue. I'm gonna tint it with the blue.
Which blue?
Oh, I'm sorry, sapphire. Sapphire. I'm gonna tint it with sapphire, and I'm gonna clean my brush in water because I wanna remove the sapphire, and I wanna pick up white alone, and I'm gonna put a white in the top. See, I'm not being too exact, so I just put it and leave it. See, put it and leave it. It also have white on top of these dark lines. And take your white and mix it with the yellow and make the shine color. And put some on top of that white. White will be the shine, whatever we're gonna put him to highlight, and because he's cutting some of the shyness from the sun. Then this section that is next to the other needs some shading. So we're gonna take some raw charcoal gray plus black, And we are going to shade the section next to the other wing.
Next to the body?
Yeah, next to the body, I'm sorry, next to the body. Let's put that wing, the other wing.
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
Okay, we're gonna start with the raw umber plus burnt umber. And the reason I put that color is to separate these two in there.
Raw umber and
And burnt umber in that section in there. Then let's fill it with the charcoal plus white and make it easier. The remainder we're gonna fill in with the charcoal plus white. And then we can put all the tints. Remember that you have a tiny section of the head showing. Do not touch the head. You have a tiny section of the head. And I can hardly find my lines in here. Okay, once you have that, then we can start putting tints, and we're gonna put. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I put the charcoal gray plus white, and I put a tiny section of raw umber plus burnt sienna in the top. And now I'm gonna put the sapphire in here. I'm still have wet. Everything's wet on wet. I did not clean my brush. If I have to remove paint from my brush, I use my paper towel. I'm gonna go in my black, and I'm going to put the black on the tip, on top of this gray. And underneath here. Now I'm gonna go into the water because I wanna remove that black from my brush. And I'm gonna go to the baby blue. Baby blue on top of my blue. Baby blue. On both of the blues, you can put baby blue. And I'm gonna go take some of the burnt sienna, keep saying, and put it on the other side too. And this time I'm gonna go up to way to white plus baby blue. White plus baby blue. And put it on top of here. I may want to bring up that highlight there too. I'm gonna fill in the rest of the body. Okay, one thing that I have to show you. This section is like here, like that, and like that. Oops. Here and there.
and that's what, white?
With the blue, baby blue plus white. Okay, and we have to take make sure that we mix with the charcoal plus burnt sienna plus white. And we have to bring some hairs here. Am I on the camera? Yes. And let's fix that blue. And baby blue. And the black on this other section goes black. When you have black and you're gonna go to another color, then you have to remove the black because black is too strong. It overpowers the other colors. This is raw umber. You have a tiny, tiny head behind this wing. Let's put it with raw umber. And then we can highlight. Let's highlight with baby blue.
What did you base it with?
The charcoal.
By itself?
Yeah. I said raw umber. Sorry.
Okay.
Probably raw umber is better than charcoal.
I use brown.
But you know, raw umber is probably better because it's not as darker as charcoal.
Diversity of birds here. Yeah, we see buzzards.
You highlight it with the baby blue.
Baby blue, just baby blue.
Mine came out too. I couldn't see what that had on my eyes. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna put white on top of that baby blue. Oops. Okay, to make it easier for you, we are going to base the whole body that is left with the charcoal plus white, and make sure that we did with the charcoal plus white, and a tiny bit of raw umber, so a warm mixture. And let's base the rest with that mixture, and then we can put the highlights on top and the tints on top, and it will be easier for you.
Charcoal, white,
Raw umber. So the light brown that you have, except for the up to that line that you have in there.
the tail.
Yeah. That's okay. Then you put white on top. I mean black on top. It has a tiny amount in here on top of that leg. Oops. Okay. It was easier if I showed you to base coat, and now we have to put the tints. We're gonna put baby blue on top of that wet paint. Let's blend it with the charcoal. It have a dark stripe in here with black.
Shadow from the rain.
Yeah, charcoal. Yeah, charcoal is the shadow. Now we're going to take white plus charcoal but lighter. And I'm gonna tilt it. You probably will have to do the same. It's easier. You're gonna make like hairs. So charcoal plus white, maybe raw umber, but a lighter mixture. Okay, wash. Short, that's not wide enough. Okay, short lines. Short lines. Charcoal plus white plus raw umber. I'm gonna use a liner better. Probably easier with a liner. Okay, then I'm gonna take my white, the same, I'm gonna be doing lines. I may need to put my baby blue again, I lost it. Okay. Baby blue, lines, doing lines. Gonna take some of that white with yellow. White with yellow. And gonna highlight it more on the belly. The same white with yellow. See, this section in here is black. Maybe we should put the black. Let's put the black. Okay. The bottom section is only black. So let's put that part so you can identify where the rest is.
Okay, are you doing the tail?
Yeah, the tail is merely black. Okay, after you have that black in there, then we can put the rest of the colors, and we were gonna clean your brush in water and remove the water from your brush and pick up your raw umber. And we're gonna put raw umber in here on the bottom. And I always do it with lines. Then you're gonna clean that in water. You're gonna remove the water from the brush, and you're gonna pick your baby blue. And then you're gonna go to your yellow plus white, and you probably want to clean your brush because you don't want green. since you have blue. And mix your shine color, which is yellow plus white, and put some shine. Reinforcing my other shines since I don't see them now. If you need to reinforce, once you have all the colors, if you need to reinforce any of the colors. Have some shyness here on the belly too that we lost. And we can also take some of the baby blue plus white. And we're almost done with this one too. And we have the remainder of the time to do our big one. Okay, this is baby blue plus white. Highlighting that. You can also highlight the other section with baby blue plus white. Lines, make sure your lines go inside those two, those others that you have in there. I want to put a tiny bit of more of my black. Their wings at the end are very dark, so you may want to put a little bit more of the black. Let's see if I can zoom out. A tiny more of the black on the tips of the wings. And we have to finish the tiny hairs that we put on top of the leg. Let's take some charcoal and darken it. Oops. No, because it was charcoal plus white, so I put charcoal now, and now I'm gonna put white plus charcoal on the front and there. No, I don't want to put black in there. And the tiny legs, since this is not as far as the other one, they're lighter. And I'm gonna put them with the burnt sienna plus yellow. And I'm gonna put them here. That's very light, so we're gonna darken them with the. Then we can shade them with the raw umber. Tiny amount of charcoal on the back and the bottom, and I know they're tiny, and that is that like highlighting. What was the name of that you said, darling?
What's that?
The dots and the I forgot the dots and the heart with the dots. It was not you? Yes.
Oh, highlighting and shading the
Dolly Parton heart.
the Dolly Parton heart.
Yeah.
It's our MJ.
Okay, so that's what we're doing here. Okay, if you do have something like that, this is what you're gonna do. Imagine that you have something big in there. Let's move away from the birds for a little bit. You need a rest from the birds. So what you're gonna do, you can do like a shape like this. And then you can take your burnt sienna and fill it in. And then you can shade on the bottom part with raw umber. And maybe you have to go darker, so maybe raw umber plus black. Raw umber plus black, because raw umber was not light. Oops. It has something going on there. Or you can take just one of those big blobs that you have somewhere, like this one, and just shade it underneath, and just imagine that there's something there. Like this one in here, I don't like it, so let's make like something was in there.
What about the shadow from the foot?
No, but you can put it the same thing that you did, the raw umber. It's probably, with the black, probably is easier. Yes, we're gonna put the eye with black, and then on top of the eye, we're gonna put an eyelid with white.
Mine is too wet to put a point on top of it right now.
Then, to make it easier, what we're gonna do, the remainder of the body, is gonna be base coated, except for the beak, with a mixture of charcoal plus white.
And more white than charcoal?
Yeah, but don't make it too light. We're gonna highlight him with let's put it the dark color, and then we have enough darkness to put our highlights with the lines. Charcoal gray plus white.
Charcoal gray is kind of a brownish gray, or brownish, a lot of brown in it, right?
Charcoal, no, it has, well, not the charcoal, that's the raw umber.
No, the charcoal
The
gray.
one that we mixed has
Charcoal and white, is that what you?
charcoal and white it is.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm using the right color.
It's the grayish, the one that is more gray.
We're doing the whole bird except the beak, right?
Yeah. We are doing it different, trying to make it easier for you.
Can you put it in there?
I'm not on camera. Let me zoom out because this is just base coating. So you can see everything.
Did you base right over the little dots and stuff you had on the pattern?
Yes. You mean the
All the little shade lines and all that stuff.
I am, yeah. Because you see, I'm trying to make it easier for you.
Okay, thank you, we appreciate that.
Easy and a good thing.
See, I am inventing it now, okay? We'll see what happens.
Leave the tail alone, because that's gonna be black, or do the whole thing?
That's, we're gonna put the black on the tail. Okay, so at the same time when you're base coating, if you wanna put, since you are blending that charcoal with white, you may wanna put more white when you go to the front. You can do that. That start lightening your front. Okay, and the tail is only a tiny section. If you don't want to lose it, put your black in there. I can hardly see my lines. I imagine it was that it was too wet. When canvas are wet, you know, it's hard to put the pattern on. Sometimes it has to be completely bone dry before you put your pattern. Okay, so I put my section of black, and then I'm gonna finish with my charcoal plus white.
My poor birdie's a little pregnant.
I thought mine was too.
It is the season.
Oh, yeah, we have a mockingbird right at our front door. Poor darling.
It is the season.
Oh, yeah. We have babies everywhere. We got a mama dog laying in a carport having babies.
Oh,
Mockingbird and
oh,
gardenia bush having babies.
oh.
My mockingbird is, I love what my front
Tail,
door.
and it's
How
like
far up though?
side of your lines. Look at your picture. Really?
Well, I'm looking here, I don't see where it is.
There was a one.
Tomorrow gonna be stressful?
No.
Was today stressful?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
See, that means that it is, you're learning.
Yes, but it hurts our brains. We're too old to be stressed in our brains.
I'm too old for my brain to hurt anymore.
Everything is easier to correct also with pencils
Yeah.
than with paint. And acrylics, you know, they're not forgiving, they're dry, and it's not like oils that you can remove it. Whatever you put is there, unless you catch it, you know, when it's wet.
No, I thought you did it. Oh. What do you do on the head?
I'm putting the head too.
In what?
The same color, the charcoal. I'm inventing, you know. This is not the way I paint it, but I'm trying to do it easier.
What did she just have?
Okay, you need a clean space on your palette, and we're gonna put raw umber plus white. And raw umber is the one that is more chocolatey, so it's warmer. Plus white. And this is gonna be our first highlight. Just gonna make it lighter on the front. And we're gonna do short hair shapes, like going short. See? Yeah. We are going to make like hairlines.
Sure we are.
And only on the middle part, okay, not on the back. So I'm using like a size 6 brush. So when we get to that part on the back, this is the light side, and you see I have to be a tiny bit farther so you can see him completely. Okay, so this is the light part up to here, and then it starts turning darker. So when I go to the darker part, you can take the dark part was charcoal plus white is the dark part, which is the color that you already have. But in order to blend it, you can take it on your brush and blend it. So once you get to the dark part is charcoal plus white, and the top and the lighter part is white plus raw umber. Capiche? And let's put that coat of color. So make him darker on the back.
Burnt umber?
No, this is charcoal plus white, and the other part is the raw umber plus white.
It's not dark enough.
No, it's not that mine either.
It's not dark enough.
Not dark enough.
Nope, then put less white, or just use charcoal. But mine had white. Okay, so that's gonna be the first stage. So raw umber plus white on the front. And the bottom part, this bottom part in here is darker too. So you pick up the charcoal mixture with white and make that darker. Because to make him round, that has to be darker. See, I have to zoom out. Then on the top, on the head, you can take charcoal and you can put charcoal underneath the beak because the beak is casting a shadow, right? And blend it in here with your raw umber plus white. This is the shadow from the beak. And then raw umber, so make sure you have in a place in your palette the raw umber plus white so you can access that. And that's the color that you're gonna put in the front of the head. And let's leave the rest dark. Raw umber plus white, and then charcoal on the rest of the head. We are going to put a tiny bit of raw umber plus white also in here. And also on the top of the head. Okay, so far this is what we have. We are using a flat brush and we are making like I press and lift, press and lift, press and lift. So press and lift, press and lift. Now we're gonna go to the light color, which is cat yellow, rose sienna, and white. Cat yellow plus rose sienna and burnt sienna or rose sienna and white. This is a lighter color, and you know what? Tiny amount of tiny amount of the sienna, like a speckle.
I think she said white sienna.
White.
Sienna and yellow.
See?
I don't know, I don't know where to read it here.
Okay, it has, if you see it closer, it has that color. So it's a tiny amount of the red color that you have in there with white plus yellow. This is the color. I am the first page.
It's kind of a peachy color?
Yeah, but more white than anything else. It is on page 2, on the highlight section. Okay, the same chop lines. Now, should be a speckle of your sienna. The raw umber plus white, you're gonna blend it with this, but you're gonna leave it in the medium section because this is only the highlighted section. Look on the TV. I only put it on the front. Still the middle section goes with the raw umber plus white. And the dark section is still the charcoal. So at this moment you should have 3 colors going on. The charcoal, the raw umber plus white, and this peachy color that we created.
What are you putting back there?
This is the charcoal. I'm reinforcing the charcoal. This is charcoal. You have charcoal here. Then you have raw umber plus white in the middle. Raw umber plus white. In here, more raw umber. What's the color that you put in here? Raw umber plus white, and you blended that with the charcoal. And then we put our peachy color in the front. And you also have to have your charcoal in the lower section here. Don't lose that darkness in there. Okay, I'm gonna leave you some time to put those 3 colors with no stress. We're making good timing, so you don't have to be stressed. Okay, let's leave that to dry, and while that is drying, we're gonna take raw umber and we're gonna float raw umber around the eye. We're gonna set that eye back inside because the eye is, you see, everybody has this. You have to be darker because this goes inside. So we're setting that eye inside.
Bottom and
Yes.
top?
Raw umber. We can also, with that same raw umber in your brush, okay, go around both sides of the eye and go around the head. And turn that head back.
What do you mean go?
Okay, gonna give you a few minutes to do that. Outside the head and around the 2 places of the eye. And if you cover your white, put it back because you're supposed to have a highlight there. And if you have white on your brush, you can put also the dot on the eye. And the dot is too big. Don't make the dot that big. I'm gonna take a little bit of black and make that dot smaller.
Yeah.
I did put some, and this is shading your, what was the name of that? I forget.
Dolly Parton hearts?
The Dolly Parton hearts. I did put some of the burnt sienna on top of, on front of that highlight on the eye. On top of this white, not on top, in the front. Now we have to start highlighting him more, and the next highlight in your instruction is cadmium yellow plus white.
Red, yellow, plus white.
So is that shine color that you did?
This stuff is all covered with stuff. But you're still getting the white from
It's-
somewhere. I just used the white, it's all white too.
If you cover everything that you have put in there, it's not gonna, you have to have all these colors that you're putting, so do not cover all the previous color. You see, you have to have some of that peachy color that we put in there. Do not cover it completely. With this color, with this highlight, if you cover your peachy color, then why are you putting it then? So do not cover it. If you cover it too much, then you can always add a tiny bit more.
Who's your duck?
Because you're supposed to see that peachy color too. Okay? And you're supposed to see the brown underneath in here. If you cover your brown in there, put it back. But before we add another lighter color, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some of the blue on the back. Yeah, let me see in the instruction. I think it says, no. It says ivory, black plus white. Because ivory, black, how do you make black? If you're gonna mix black, you don't have black. How do you mix black? Blue and?
Purple.
No. And burnt umber. Burnt umber and blue makes black. Okay? So there's blue in black. So we're gonna take blue plus white and we're gonna use that as a dark blue.
Blue plus white.
Okay, I was saying that black is made of blue plus brown. Okay, so I'm using the black plus white to make a dark blue. Because there's blue in black.
So these are black with white.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we gonna use it as?
And I'm putting it on the back. And you see when you put it that it's gonna look blue. But it's not as bright as the sapphire. It's a blue that is not as bright, it's cooler. So you see, you learned something today. Then, if we go to the front, we can add a tiny bit of sapphire because one is going to the front. It can be, cooler and I mean not cooler. It can be darker and brighter. I went too far. So, do not cover. Yeah, do not cover all your brown, which was brown plus white and charcoal gray plus white. Do not cover that. Yeah, because I put too much. So I'm just gonna put back this was the section that had the raw umber and white. And I'm just gonna do a walk so you can see what I have so far. Yep, that's too light. Did you see that it was blue?
It's out of the picture.
You didn't see when you put your black plus white that it was blue?
More gray.
It is blue. This is black plus white. Gray. And I put it again on the bottom.
Charcoal?
The charcoal gray because I'm making that lower section darker.
Birds
Well,
tell
these
us they'd
birds
rather
are
be out at
in rough
sea.
shape because it's been so cold down here and they're not used to it.
Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, okay.
They had a rough winter this year.
Tell them it could be worse, they could go more.
Exactly.
You need to have dark in there. And this is the same thing that I've done. I just want to point to you that you need that darkness in there because otherwise
On the bottom?
on here, you see that darkness that I have in there?
Yep.
You need to have that because you're gonna pull some hairs up and they're not gonna show unless you have that darkness in there. This is what I do. And I'm gonna take a dark color so you can see. I place my brush and I move it and I make like small lines. So I have the paint and I put it and I do like short lines to make like hair, like feathers. And that's the same thing I do when I do birds in oils or colored pencils. I do short lines. Pencil, I just put my pencil and do like that, and in oils I do the same thing I'm doing here. I put short lines. But don't put them like this separated. You put one, then you jump to another place and put another one. That's what you're gonna do with your bird. But you're gonna follow the contour of the body because his body is going around, right? So when you're here, you're gonna be following that shape of the body. I'm gonna put it very close so you can see those lines. If you look closely, you can see those lines in there. Okay, are you ready to follow? Okay. we have to put lighter,
Right.
another coat of light. Not everywhere, because we're building, right? So we can go straight to white for our next color. We're not cover everything that we have done. Let me go farther. It is lighter in here. And he is lighter in here. And then he is lighter on the hairs, these hairs that comes over. And I did that with liner. And we're gonna take that white color with the liner, and the liner needs to go with water. And you're gonna start bringing the hairs up.
Just pure white.
Pure white. Because you want to see them. This is white. But you have to connect that to the body, right? I'm gonna make my shine color with a tiny bit of umber. Okay, then we have to put some of the speckles.
Which brush are you using for the speckles?
I'm gonna use a round brush. I'll tell you the size. I'm connecting these lines that I created here with the rest of my body. And the dots are charcoal gray on the dark section and charcoal gray plus burnt sienna on the lighter section. And I'm gonna use a round brush, size, I don't have a 1, size 2. Okay, burnt sienna on the light side. And that's too light, so let's put the charcoal gray. Burnt sienna plus charcoal gray. You know what? And they do follow a pattern. Okay?
Okay.
They are like in a row. And make them too dark.
Don't make them too dark.
Not too dark. We have not touched the face, so let's do the head. So you have all those dots in there, don't go too crazy putting dots. Okay, we have to highlight the head, and the first highlight was the peachy color with was burnt sienna. Plus burnt umber, plus white. Do you remember that color?
No. Just on the chest.
I am with the peachy color starting to highlight the head because we have not touched the head. And it was, the peachy color was the burnt sienna with the white plus the raw umber. And then I took burnt sienna plus raw umber plus white. Then we went over to the shine color, which was the yellow plus the white. And you need, to do the head, you need to do it with a round brush. And then we have to put straight white.
Yeah, I gotta.
The first one was burnt sienna and white, right?
No, it has, it is the cat yellow, rosine, and white, then cat yellow plus white, and then white. Same colors that we use underneath.
Where is it on the instruction sheet?
On page 2, where it says highlighted section.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's all dots. It is.
There's a charcoal gray, very, very dark area here in the back. And there is also charcoal gray on the top section, which has to go darker. So charcoal gray on the top. And you can make it like lines, tiny lines. It does have some of the speckles also with charcoal gray and burnt sienna in the head. He looks funny because he has no beak. Are we gonna give him a beak or not? Okay, and we're gonna give him a beak. Okay, make sure you have a good highlight in here with white, and that you have also some white dots in the head and a good highlight on the eyelid. Okay, he needs some of the dots, and the dots were charcoal plus burnt sienna. You cannot see the other eye, but it is here. So make sure that you have that bump in there. Raw sienna is burnt sienna, cut yellow, and raw umber. So you're gonna base coat the beak, has one section of black that I'm leaving there, and you're gonna base coat your feet. So base coat your feet and your beak with this mixture. Do you need the colors again?
Nope, she's good.
No, I just didn't, I mixed too much of a dark color.
She didn't have enough sienna.
Yellow, you mean?
No, sienna. And yellow.
Okay, base coat your feet and your beak, and you're gonna take a 10-minute break because you deserve it.
And because they need to dry.
And Darlene, don't tell them.
Sorry. We already popped our bubble, darling.
We thought we actually deserved a break.
So you put black in the middle of those two sections of sienna in your big. And we're gonna shade with charcoal gray, but I did this wet on wet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in our brush that raw sienna that we mixed, and then you can put some of the charcoal. And that's gonna blend with that color, and you can do a good blend. And it's gonna be, this has like a triangle shape in there. Let me zoom. So it has like an indentation in here. And you're gonna shade also the outer edge with the charcoal. Blend it with your raw sienna. The outer edge. And you're gonna blend next to, shade next to the body, going down. The same on the other one, next to the body, going down. And the left side is what you're highlighting. Charcoal gray, and I extended that. Oopsie daisy, I was out of cover. Let me do it again. You see that? On both of them. Charcoal gray. But when you do a cast shadow, it is always darker next to the object that is casting the shadow. So we're gonna put it here, and then we're gonna make it darker next to the feet. Always, when you do a cast shadow, it becomes darker next to the object that is casting the shadow. So next to the feet it is darker, and then it goes out to nothing. I did put some white on the front. That's why I'm cleaning here. I'm cleaning here because I put too much of that in there. Because it goes underneath and going to the back. The cat shadow. And the white was on the front part. So you're gonna take, and it was not white, I think it was, is cool neutral. I brush the cool neutral on front, in the front part. You can add tiny bit of white to that cool neutral. In front of the feet. You can add a tiny bit on the other one too. Of that same color, cool neutral plus white. The beak. You need to take black and do a line of separation in between the two sections. And in here too. Okay, and it is shaded on the top section, and we're shading it with the same color that we did for the feet. So we're shading with the charcoal in the top section. And I'm just using my liner to place those shadings. Also, in this section next to his face, you can shade it a little bit. It seems I did put some of the charcoal plus white on the top of that black. So charcoal plus white in here. Not that much, a little bit less. You guys should be proud of yourself going through all this torture. Okay, yellow plus white. And let's highlight that beak. Dry brush. If you lose your sienna, you can put it back. And you know that color, right? Raw sienna, raw umber, and white. And then you're gonna take a liner and you're gonna sign your name.